So, and this is a very critical thing. A lot of people leave relationships and there's a lot of blame that happens. Who's been in that? You go and you do the blame thing, and we throw everything onto this narcissistic, no good person that we're with. And if it wasn't for them, you know, our life would be different. And so sometimes we do that. And instead of looking at ourselves, we look for the problem out there and say, listen, if I can find the right person, my relationship will work. Newsflash, this is all development. This is all personal self-development work. We've got to realise that you are part of the relationship. If the relationship doesn't work, that's you. That's you. It's not the other person. So it's about taking that full responsibility. So I love what you're saying there. Now, it may not be your fault that it fell apart or that there was cheating or whatever happened. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. And so we need to own the responsibility of it. So I'm sick of these people saying, you know, he did this and he did that, or she did this and she did that. And we can lay a lot of blame at the feet of the other person. Now, it's okay to do to some degree, to say, yes, they cheated on you or something bad happened. But we've got to look at ourselves. Remember, when you're pointing the finger, there's always three pointing at you. There's always three pointing at you. Just remember that. When's your personality formed? Anyone know? The basic blueprint of your personality. What age? Around 7? It's actually around 2. It's around 2. 2, your personality is fairly well formed by 2. So those first couple of years, critical. So then you get later on in life and you realise that, hey, some of this programming is no good. Some of the stuff that I was exposed to, it's harming me. What do I do? As we get older, it becomes less easy, you could say, to change. We become more set in our ways. We run the same pattern so long, it becomes almost impossible to change. Once you hit 30, they say, that's it, your brain's done. You're fully baked. If you could let somebody in. Hello. Thanks, Richard. You become fully baked, right, at 30. Now, there is a way to change after 30. It's not easy, though. It's not easy, and it requires work and persistence. It requires a level of commitment. And it's a commitment not just for a little workshop, not even watching YouTube videos. That's not going to do it. That's just information. That's just data. Even the guys that talk about the neurological repatterning and the people that talk about all this stuff and how you reprogram yourself, that's all just data. You've actually got to go through an experience where you can reprogram yourself. That's why I teach seminars, because seminars work. That's where you actually go in and you become fully absorbed in an environment of people that are learning and growing together, and that changes people. That really changes people. In fact, I try to do things. Who's had some Tony Robbins CDs before in the past, or who's had some motivation and used to play them all the time in your ears and used to do things? I did that for years and years and years, but it wasn't until I went to an actual seminar. I paid, actually my mother paid like $1,000 and she invited me along as her guest, and I went along, and I tell you what, that just changed me. I went 4 days, full saturation environment. All the stuff that I'd learned up to then was good. It was all information, but none of it was knowledge. None of it was part of who I was. None of it was in the cells of my body. None of it was in my nervous system. And because of that, my life hadn't changed. It had changed incrementally. It had changed little by little, but there was no big aha moment. There was no big earth-shattering change. There was no transformation, not till I got to the seminar. When I went through the seminar experience, something happened. It was like a shock to my system. I walked out a different person. And that's why I started doing these meetups, because seminars work. They're powerful. And so I couldn't encourage you more. Be involved in seminars, because that will change you.